And a good afternoon, everybody. It is a swampy type environment here in the Delaware Valley. Thick. You can cut that air with the humidity. Yes, rain is on its way. You know it. It's that time of year. Last night was out in the porch, out in the deck, and the next thing you know, like, man, that rain is coming. And it did. It came for about an hour. And then going to be a little bit here today. Tomorrow, though, going to look beautiful. And Saturday as well for Kenny Chesney down at the link. All right, we got a lot to get to today. Fun show in store. 4 o'clock, all things 4 o'clock. Sean Bernard going to join the program as we preview NBA Finals Game 1. Talk a little bit about from the series perspective, DraftKings. Folks, my goodness, nobody does a big game or a big series like the people over at DraftKings Sportsbook. New users, be sure to use Brace as the promo code. Let them know that you're listening to us here on The Gambler. And I will just say this much, from the player props to the series props to all the other stuff in between, as hopefully that's my headphones and not the microphone. I don't think so. All right. Yes, all of the above. As I said, nobody does a big game like DraftKings Sportsbook. Brace is the promo code. They got same game parlay deals going on as far as promos are concerned for every NBA Finals. New users, 5 will get you 150. Just use Brace as the promo code. Let them know that you're listening to us. All right. Of course, you know, we got the memorial going on with Scotty Scheffler into his normal spot. He's at the top, if I'm not mistaken. I just got here, so I don't know if that changed in the last minute, but I know he shot a 67, 5 under, and one of the more difficult tracks, difficult courses on the PGA Tour. Had that to get to. Major League Baseball, we are the talk of the league. Yes, I know. I'm fully aware of what the Yankees are doing. Skeens is electric, and especially what he was able to do against that Dodgers lineup. I told you over 6.5 was a good play, and it was. NBA Finals Game 1. Feels like forever, right? We've had basketball in our lives for months, day in, day out, breaking it down, trying to find those winning plays, discussing the games from the 76ers perspective and the league perspective. All of the above. Finally get it back into our lives tonight, Game 1 in Boston. And, oh, by the way, a pretty damn good, entertaining Stanley Cup Finals coming our way on Saturday. But all that gets pushed to the side because a Woj bomb was dropped at about 7 a.m. this morning. Full disclosure, I was able to sleep. I don't know how it happened. I woke up at like 7:42 today. Normally it's a 6:30, 6:45, which is probably late to a lot of people out there, but thankfully I don't have a 9 o'clock start time here on The Gambler. Thank goodness for that. But I do have a 4-year-old daughter that likes to kick in the door waving the 4-4. All I know is I wake up, wipe the sleep out my eyes, go check social media, as I often do. A great way to start the day. That's the best way to start your day. Perfect for the mental. And then the news. Woj reports that the Lakers and UConn head coach for the men's basketball team, Danny Hurley, have been in contact, have been in talks. I guess we could say negotiations. Is that a little strong for people? You meet. You discuss some numbers. I don't care if it's, anything more than that, or it's not anything more than that. That's yeah, absolutely. That's next level. That's just a little bit more than discussions are concerned. And that's what they've been doing. Danny Hurley and the Lakers. Apparently, if you believe Woj, he said number one. They reached out to him a long time ago when everything went down, probably before Darvin Ham, maybe after Darvin Ham. I don't know. But it's not surprising to me. And the big reason is this, and I don't know, is it surprising to you? It shouldn't be, I guess. And my theory is he is the coach. We talked about him at length for the Kentucky job. There was a reason why Kentucky needed to go out and investigate whether or not Danny Hurley would have interest in going to Kentucky. He is one of the better offensive minds out there, has a great system, of course, hella motivator, and has the resume to back it up now with the back-to-back national championships. That puts you in a new light. That puts you in a new stratosphere. You know, very few coaches out there can talk about winning a championship, let alone back-to-back or two. You know, that's Billy Donovan territory, where Billy Donovan's name out of nowhere was being brought up for the Kentucky job this year. He's been in the NBA for a long dang time now. Multiple stops, and all of a sudden, because of the success he had at Florida, well, love to get Billy Donovan down here in Kentucky. Wasn't the case. Still staying in the NBA. Danny Hurley said, you know what? He said it in an interview a couple months ago after the national championship game, where spot on that he would probably be entertaining an opportunity to go to the NBA, but that was down the road. And now here we are, where one of the most prestigious franchises in all of sports, the LA Lakers, are knocking on the door. And you bet your ass he's going to answer that call. And he needs to. Because number one, this opportunity doesn't come around all that often. And I know the Lakers haven't been known to pay their coaches a ton of money. And if you look down the list of names they've had since Phil Jackson, not a lot of desirable coaching moves. Let's just put it that way. Darvin Ham didn't move the needle. Luke Walton didn't move the needle. Frank Vogel understood, didn't move the needle. So what do they need? They need a refresher. They need somebody that could come in and change everything involved with that environment out with the Lakers. And Danny Hurley is that guy. Now, it takes two to tango, as always. Does that mean Danny Hurley is locked and ready to go? According to John Fanta, that is not the case, but he did approach his team today and said, as for now, it's business as usual, but I wanted to be upfront. You got to appreciate that with Danny Hurley. What it comes down to for me is this. Money, 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 money. Money. Yeah. Look, Danny Hurley's making $6.5 million right now. We know everything that UConn is up against. We know that they don't have a football program worth a damn. We know that money is tight up there. We were reading articles with the Kentucky nonsense about, you know, one of the reasons why I was thinking he would end up in Kentucky or would have interest in Kentucky, was some of the things that they were writing up there in the, or as far as op-eds are concerned, up in Connecticut, was taking away money from, you know, the sports teams, whether we're talking about UConn women's or men's basketball. I was just like, what is going on? If you're Danny Hurley, you just won a national championship in the NIL period right now, you can't be losing money. You got to get money in that bag to go out there and get some of these great players out there more than ever. And here you are trying to take a couple dollars away from Danny Hurley that he could spend on a potential 5-star recruit to bring him in to go back to back to back, which is something that we haven't seen in forever. It feels like. I think UConn went back, or UCLA went back to back to back, if I'm not mistaken, in the early 70s. Danny Hurley to the Lakers makes perfect sense to me, and it really does excite me. But as I said, he's gonna have to think about it. He's got his wife, of course, number one, his family, number two, and number three, it just comes down to whether or not he wants that type of pressure. Now, it's not pressure free. It's definitely not an environment in UConn where, you know, there's zero expectations. No, he's set that bar. That's him. But no one's going to second guess him, and he could coach for the rest of his life at UConn. No ifs, ands, buts about it. He's never getting fired. Lakers call. I'm picking up. I'm intrigued. LeBron James still playing at a high level. Anthony Davis on that roster. Pretty good names on that roster. And the expectations can't be for Danny Hurley to come in game one or year one and win an NBA championship. But we shall see. Here's what I got for you, folks. I'm excited about today's show. Of course, we got that on the docket. We also have an NBA Finals game that should be pretty damn good, right? With these two teams, of course, everything along the lines of, the names that we have, Kyrie, of course, Luka, who's the best player in the series. But the one thing that's really hitting me is defense. And I know that's boring to a lot of people out there, but Sean Bernard's going to tell you in a little bit that the Dallas Mavericks have improved tremendously over the last 3 series, and that's why they're in this position at this point in time on the defensive side. They're going to need to bring that and then some to go into Boston to win game 1. Folks, allow me, though, as today is a special day. I am a man that brings a lot of wisdom to the table, and the reason why I do that is because I am an elder statesman here on the station. I am an old man, and I know a thing or two about a thing or two, and it just comes as life goes on. And today is a huge day for the gentleman by the name of Jon Jansen, and he joins us on the Gambler Hotline. It is his 30th birthday. Happy birthday, Jon Jansen. How are we doing today, bud?
I'm doing good, Sean Brace. And to think you've been instilling wisdom with me for about 5-6 years. I think 24. I was 24 years old when I started. Now I'm an old man. So we've been working together for too long. Way too long.
Yes, you ain't lying about that. It is your 30th birthday, man. Congratulations. You made it to 30. Nice work. Don't do anything. Don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything I wouldn't do this weekend. But what are the plans for this evening? Hopefully it doesn't rain a little too hard for you.
No, not much. Just a dinner with the family tonight.
Nice.
So we're going out to a place that we've gone to a lot. So excited for that. And then tomorrow is the big party. But just
where's the big party?
Relaxing. What's that?
Where's the big party?
The big party is at Liberty Point in Philly. So nice outdoor venue. Gypsy Wisdom is going to be playing. So instead of that, you can go see a Gypsy Wisdom show if you want to at Liberty Point. But yeah, going to do it there. Have a lot of fun. Maybe the OD Saturday night if my 30-year-old body can get off the ground on Saturday.
All right. So as far as tomorrow night, Liberty Point, we got Gypsy Wisdom on the 1s and 2s. Looking forward to catching Mike and the gang up there, as always, killing it, crushing it. And I'm sure that they're probably going to make you blush a time or two. I don't know, maybe mess with you.
I think I heard a whisper of Creed might be in the set list. I heard a little whisper.
Get out of here!
That's not kidding. They've been rehearsing that one. Creed's big now, Bryce. So you got to add it into the set list. So
That's
I know
true.
They've tried it a couple times.
What is the birthday request for Creed tomorrow for Gypsy Wisdom?
I think it's just going to be higher. I got to go with the classic. Got to go with the.
I almost just spit Red Bull all over the place. You almost got Red Bull all over the board there. Nice. So we're going with higher.
Yeah, it's got to be high. I can't do it with arms wide open. I got to go with one that'll get the people going. It's got to be higher.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Are you kidding me? That's going to be a lot of fun. All right, what time's the party tomorrow night?
Oh gosh, I want to say I think the band goes on at 7, so we're gonna get there right before that.
Whoa! All right. I'm coming from the golf course. I'll be headed down there.
Oh, going to the golf course. I mean, look, Brace, it's my birthday. I didn't get invited out to the golf course. What did you get me for my birthday? 30th birthday, and all I get is a little tweet. I don't get a golf invite.
That's a little much for you to do the golf, and then I thought about it. Believe me, I thought
it's too much. That is honestly, I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could survive a whole day like that. I don't know if I could.
The amateur golf tour. They are. There's a golf course. I should know this. I just looked at it. Their tour stop this week is out in Media. What's the place? Shadow Creek or Spring Hollow? Spring Hollow.
Media, Pennsylvania.
Spring Hollow Golf Club. Yeah. So
the place that I live. You mean that place? That area?
Yes, exactly. In Montco.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna be right down the street.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's where I would. That's where I was going that's what I was going to do today, but with the rain and stuff, I said, all right, we'll pass on that. And then, like I said, it's going to be a little much for you. So contain your energy tomorrow, get it in all weekend. All right. While I have you, let's get some sports talks going. First of all, the big topic of the day, sports does not rest. Does not sleep. Woj bomb, 7 a.m. Danny Hurley possibly to the Lakers. Thumbs up, thumbs down from the Lakers' perspective.
Because they're going to have to give a lot of money. I mean, college coaches, that's the thing, especially if you're a top college coach. I don't care if it's UConn, whatever. UConn's winning a lot. They're going to throw a lot of money at Danny Hurley and a lot of money to retain him. So if the Lakers do it, it's gonna be a lot of money to do it. I mean, I can't say it's not better than JJ Redick, though. It is. I mean, JJ Redick hasn't coached a day in his life. And Danny Hurley, I know he's been through high school ranks all the way up to college, from Wagner to Rhode Island, all the way up to then UConn. But it's a guy that's been coaching. He's brought this style, this crazy style over from Europe. And that's what will be interesting to see from UConn, because it was an assistant coach that brought this offense to Danny Hurley. And maybe if UConn can at least retain that assistant coach, make him the head coach, and then they maybe got somebody. But, yeah, there's this offensive system in place that seems to really it looks like an NBA offense. It plays like an NBA offense. It has been highlighted since Danny Hurley has been in UConn, how great that offense has been. So I think it would be a fit in the NBA. It's a personality fit, I think, that people are going to really be cautious about, because Hurley is a very strong personality. And he makes it known all the time, arguing with college students, like fans in the crowd after games. So it's going to be quite the social experiment.
No, you're right about that. It intrigues me. It excites me. I want him out of Connecticut. I do. Like, I'm bored. Please open it up for college basketball.
See, I don't like that. I would like somebody to beat him first, though, before you know, I would like that. You know, I like when Nick Saban gets beat. I like when Gino Auriemma got beat.
All right. Okay. So Baylor beats UConn next year in the national championship. Take down Danny Hurley. Does it mean anything? No, it doesn't.
I think it does. I think you just beat a two-time national champion.
All right.
Whoever is the one to take down UConn.
You're right. In a national championship game, whole different ball game. But who knows what happens throughout the course of a season? And you know, it opens up the door a little bit more for Villanova here on our airways, right? We got to be honest about that, as we are the home of Villanova basketball. So when I thought it, immediately, I said, yeah, leave the Big East, please go. But
leave the Big East, and you know, I imagine most of those players would want to stay in the Big East. Again, if they retain maybe an assistant coach, that some of those players would stay. But I imagine there would be a few, if Danny Hurley leaves, that are going to head in the portal almost right away.
Apparently, they got 30 days to do so. So yes, it could happen. At the same time, I don't know, have some pride. Money talks, right? If these kids are getting paid and they're not going to make any more money anywhere else, I would assume that they might stay. Who knows? But again, we'll see what happens there. I do like it from the Lakers' perspective. I think it's smart. He's somebody that could come in and build a program, as you just put out there, what he's done over the years. And they need a culture change. They need something different than just hiring these one and done guys or going to the recycling bin of coaches that are out there, whether it's Doc Rivers or Frank Vogel. And of course, I know Vogel's already been there, but nothing new. JJ Redick was exciting to me.
Yeah, right. You just need something to rejuvenate that franchise, rejuvenate LeBron and all the players there. Obviously, that has more to do with personnel as well. You know, what the roster is going to look like by the start of the season. But a little bit of that, you're kind of rejuvenating them with this. I think they got it from Europe, wherever they got this offensive system from UConn. But that's the kind of thing that would rejuvenate a player like LeBron, that would be able to revive a franchise that's been kind of – and they played well at times last year. Remember, they won that whatever NBA Cup, whatever that stupid thing was. So there was some success, but it did feel like a team that just needed a little bit more life jolted into them, and that kind of mind and that kind of basketball system that Danny Hurley has would certainly, I think, do something like that.
All right. We'll see what happens there. Apparently, it's going to be figured out over the next 48 hours. I believe I read that, if I'm not mistaken. So, again, the toothpaste is out of the tube. With Sean Bernard and I will talk a little bit more about that coming up at 4 o'clock, why I think that is not such a good move, but I'm intrigued on how that word got out there. All right, let's switch gears. 2 more. Number 1, if you, myself, your brother, your family, everybody we know, how much money do you think we can put together to possibly become a minority owner of the Philadelphia Eagles?
Probably not enough, I would say.
Damn.
Maybe we can get the Liberty Point owners in as well when we're out there on Friday, or whoever it is. Right. We can maybe find a group. You know, I'm sure they got some pretty high dollar clientele going in at Liberty Point. So Maybe we can get some others, but I don't know if we can do that. I don't know if we're there yet.
The word is Jeffrey Lurie is exploring a sale of minority stake of the Philadelphia Eagles, according to Bloomberg. I would assume that it will be somebody that I don't know. That's a little bit deep for me to throw that blanket statement out there. So let me save that one. But Jeffrey Lurie is a very smart businessman and has turned the Philadelphia Eagles into a juggernaut over the last 2+ decades.
Yeah, it doesn't really change much. It's just, stuff that I really don't care about that probably helps out having a minority stakes owner as well. But in terms of the day-to-day, who is going to make decisions, that none of that changes. So. Yeah, I don't take too much into this.
All right. And then finally, let's close up shop here and give me your thoughts. 60 seconds on tonight's NBA Finals Game 1, 6.5 point spread, 215.5 on DraftKings.
So Boston has been the one to kind of throw the first punch in these series. Game ones have been really good for them, except the one against Indiana. So I'm going to try the Mavs. I'm going to try the 6.5. I know on the road it's not great. It's going to be a hostile environment, especially for Kyrie after everything that went down in Boston a few years ago. I just think Kyrie and Luka have been playing excellent. I know Sean Bernard posted all the defensive numbers, and it's true. It's been highlighted pretty much since the second half of the season and into the postseason that Dallas's defense got better. Now, there are some matchup things that Boston can do, especially spacing out to get guys like Gafford out of the paint and moving him around more, and Gafford's going to have to be more on the perimeter. So stuff like that could really change Dallas's defense, but it's been good for a while, so maybe it's just a good defense. And if they get that paired with Luka and Kyrie, and especially the way Luka was playing towards the end of that Western Conference Finals, I want to take a shot on the 6.5 with Dallas, and then adjust accordingly to what I see, because there are some matchup things that I'm really intrigued by. Yeah,
I think I'm going to take the 6.5 tonight as well. I want to see a good game, but I'm not too blown away by this play either way. It's the two best teams standing. One thing we have known over the Boston Celtics, they struggle to put teams away ATS. They're 7-7 throughout the course of this playoff run. Of course, they really loaded up on a bunch of those wins ATS versus the Miami Heat to open up shop. So, again, against the Pacers, they weren't able to cover. They only covered 1 out of the 4 games. And I think they're 2-6, if I'm not mistaken, out of their last 8 in the ATS as far as playoff games are concerned for Boston. So give me more of that. I want to see Luka go in there, continue to just fire. Kyrie, there's money to be made on Kyrie Irving. Here's my one play, though. Peyton Pritchard over 5.5 tonight. I think he's going to hit 3
Pritchard. Yes. Digging deep for that one.
Oh, all yeah, right. Baby. All right. Hey, man, enjoy the day. Appreciate a couple minutes. Happy birthday, man. And have yourself a nice cold Miller Lite for me, all right?
Yeah, I'll have one with you tomorrow, too.
Damn right.
Stop on out. Yeah. Thanks, Grace.
You the man. There he is, the birthday boy himself, Jon Jansen, 30. I went to Vegas when I was 30 for my 30th birthday. Whew. Go figure. That was a good one. That was also a long damn time ago. Also, another person, Deja, who does some really good work for us here at iHeartRadio, Power 99, among other radio stations, if I'm not mistaken, but I know she's on at Power 99. She's celebrating her birthday, and DJ Smooth, who is very popular around the Delaware Valley, throws parties on Xfinity Live, his birthday as well, 32. So happy birthday, everybody. I'm 43. I'm just an old man. It's all good, though. Getting smarter. I'm happier. I'm settled. Loving life with my beautiful 4-year-old daughter. I just built her a bike with training wheels 2 days ago. She's riding it. Took karate classes yesterday. Life is good. But for all you young whippersnappers out there, happy birthday. Yeah, baby. All right, stop that. We got Ryan Beef Coyle. He's going to join the party coming up at 3:30. I'm going to talk to Ryan and see his thoughts on all things Danny Hurley possibly ending up in L.A. to coach the Lakers. This is not something that I thought was ever a possibility. I don't know anybody that did. Like I said, he talked about this on a podcast where he's like, maybe I might entertain an NBA job or two down the road. But I thought once Kentucky wasn't an option, he's done. He's staying at UConn. He's not going to leave. And that's all she wrote. Now, Lakers are knocking on the door, possibly going to make him a top 5 paid head coach. Take a look at the numbers that these head coaches are getting in the NBA as far as pay is concerned. Steve Kerr is at the top of the list. He averages $17.2 million per season. Pop. Monty Williams from the Detroit Pistons is getting paid. You're looking at a guy that could possibly go from 6.5 to 12, $13 million. It's a lot of dinero, a lot of scratch. And for the wife that loves the Jersey Shore, we heard about her. Come on. Doesn't L.A., doesn't the California Sun treated like gold head coach of the L.A. Lakers move the needle at all for you, Mrs. Hurley? Come on. Oh, by the way, $6.5 million extra goes in the bank account at the end of every year. All right, Ryan Beef Coyle is going to join me on the other side. Beef himself. We'll find out his thoughts. Danny Hurley possibly to L.A., and we'll get his thoughts on tonight's game 1 between the Celtics, and the Mavericks. More Daily Ticket after this.
Keep listening for the next chance to win your way to our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
A weekend full of superstar performances this September.
Streaming live only on Hulu. Tickets go on sale Friday, June 14th.
But starting June 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern, Capital One cardholders get first access to tickets and other exclusive offers for 48 hours only or while pre-sale tickets last. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One for more pre-sale details. What's in your wallet?
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
We're busy on 95 northbound, stop and go. Find Expressway up to Bridge Street, southbound jam 420 to 320. Westbound Schuylkill stacked up University to Vine and Boulevard to Belmont. Eastbound slow Blue Route to Belmont and Montgomery Drive to South. All right, to tell total traffic.
This report is sponsored by KFC. The new taste of KFC deals are meals starting at just $4.99. Grab a hot, juicy drum and thigh, a buttery biscuit, and creamy mashed potatoes with gravy. Only at KFC. It's finger licking good. Prices and participation vary. Tax, tip, and fees extra.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth. And if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS has raised the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes in recent years. This hits hard if you're behind on your taxes. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. If you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
CEOs you should know, brought to you by Comcast Business.
Alyssa Memley, President and Chief Development Officer of Children's Specialized Hospital Foundation. Children's Specialized Hospital is a specialized rehabilitative hospital that one would come to post-acute care, needing rehabilitation care, or for one of our specialty services, autism, brain injury, chronic illness, cognitive, and mobility. I love what this hospital does. I love being involved in supporting these kids. The kids that come to Children's Specialized Hospital are some of the most marginalized children that we serve. When you know that you can impact change into people's world like that and support these kids and the amazing work that happens at the hospital, it's a home run. Children's Specialized Hospital, for me, is a place of miracles. I find it one of the most amazing places to sit in every day. I feel privileged and grateful for the opportunity to lead the foundation side of the house and to give back to the hospital in some small way. I think if you walk through the doors of Children's Specialized Hospital, there's no way that you ever walk out feeling the same. And there has yet to be a person that does not walk out the door and say, how can I help? Please visit us at give2csh.org.
Comcast Business, the complete connectivity solution, cybersecurity, internet, and mobile, all from one provider. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ew, Gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors, it helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ziprecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No. Call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com. Daily Ticket with you here on a Thursday. NBA Finals game number 1 coming our way this evening. Sean Brace with you, rolling solo, but solo for right now. Because, folks, when it comes to the college game, whether football or basketball, we got some great brains, great minds here that represent the Gambler. This gentleman, we did a college football podcast by the name of Beef Up Front. Of course, talked all things college basketball, but it was really hard to come up with that concept of like beef down low, but then, the double entendre there. So we kind of moved off the podcast there and just left that to college football. Instead, we talked college hoops all season long until we crowned the champion, which was the UConn Huskies, back-to-back seasons. Now, all of a sudden, college basketball back to the forefront. So, of course, I had to dial up the man himself, Beef. Ryan Beef Coyle joins me right now on the Gambler Hotline. Beef, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that we're here right now, and it's not to say it's a done deal. However, I think that this was released. I think that this finally, the words or the conversations finally saw the light of day because maybe the Lakers are feeling good, or they needed to give a little bit more of a push towards Danny Hurley possibly being the head coach of the Lakers moving forward. However, where do you stand? What was your immediate reaction when you woke up this morning and caught the Woj bomb that Danny Hurley and the Lakers have been in contact about possibly being the next head coach?
Yeah, the first thing that came into my mind was shock as well. I was actually driving to work, and I was with my sister as well. We were driving in, and back in December or January, whatever it was, when Saban retired, we were in the car together too. So there I am freaking out when that happened. And then when this happened this morning, she's half asleep in the passenger seat. And I'm just like going crazy because, you thought the whole coaching carousel was done. And any kind of speculation about him leaving UConn, I thought would have been over by now because of the Kentucky situation. But then I always thought if he were to take an NBA job, it would be like if the Knicks opened up or something. I'd never really put him and the Lakers together. So shock definitely was the first word to come to my mind when I saw the tweet this morning. Let's talk about it from the Lakers' perspective, and I'll get into UConn in just a second. But is it a good move from the Lakers in your mind to roll the dice, pay the whatever it will take to get him out there? This is a franchise that doesn't like to spend money on the head coach. It's just well documented over the last 15 years since Phil Jackson left. So here we are. Do you think Danny Hurley to the Lakers, obviously you make this move to get you over or to the top of the mountain, get you past your struggles that you've had these last few seasons? I'm not saying expectations year one for him to come in and win an NBA title, but do you think that Danny Hurley could be successful for the Lakers? Do you think this is a good move for them? So the first thing I kind of thought of when visualizing it or picturing him actually coaching was just like some of what Fox Sports does on those mic'd up huddles, and the way that he demands the players' attention and the way that he talks to them. He's full force, full pedal to the metal at all times. We know that with him. I just can't get it in my head though. Like Danny Hurley going off on LeBron for not getting back on defense, and then like, all right, LeBron starts rolling his eyes, AD starts rolling his eyes. They're like, this guy never coached in the NBA, never played in the NBA. He's got no experience in the league. We're really going to sit here with all our accomplishments and let him talk to us like that. Like, I just can't get that through my head. I think there'll definitely have to be an adjustment period, kind of like toning it back, because I guess stylistically, like motivation wise, and the way that he conducts himself on the sideline during the games, probably the closest thing to him in the NBA today, I would probably say is Tibbs. But I think Danny Hurley still has, another level or two up on Tibbs in terms of his energy and what he brings to the sideline. There was in the article that Woj put out that LeBron would find it fascinating if Danny Hurley does go there and Bronny does go to the Lakers in terms of player development. So maybe if LeBron actually does have a say in this, he's kind of looking at it like, all right, my kid needs someone like him to get the most out of him. I'm only going to be in the league for a couple more years. So maybe if LeBron actually is having a say in this, and with the Lakers as well, kind of talking about the future and the next steps after LeBron, maybe they think this guy's the way to kind of bring them back.
What do you see as far as LeBron's future? How many years left do you think he has in the NBA?
I mean, I think he could still play, a handful of years, but do we really see an NBA player play like Tom Brady was the big outlier in the NFL, playing to 46, I think it was, 45. LeBron, is he really going to want to continue to do that? We know money is not a factor for that. I think 2 more years I could see, but I think he probably wants to chase one more ring, get at least one full year in with Bronny. And he's got another son too, who's in the class of 25. So maybe he wants to find a way to play with both of them. But I guess that's a discussion too for down the road.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about it from UConn's perspective. A little late in the game, if you're a UConn Husky fan, you're definitely waking up going, how the hell are we here right now? But again, you're fat. You just ate really well for the last 2 seasons. You were at the top of the list of everybody's mind when it comes to possibly winning the national championship. And then you went ahead and did exactly that over the last 2 March Madness tournaments. So here we are. Let's just go ahead and say he takes the gig. If he does take the gig, what happens to UConn next? Are they going to lose a boatload of players? Are they going to be out of the running in your mind as far as for a national championship? How tough would they be in the Big East? I know it's really a lot of speculation because we don't know, A, he didn't take the job, and B, which players would be leaving. But your thoughts, would it be just an absolute disaster situation for UConn if Hurley did take this gig?
I mean, right now, I think you can say Danny Hurley is the best coach in college basketball. So obviously it would be a disaster to some degree. But the way it works is once the coach leaves, I believe it's once he officially, dots a line and signs with another team, those players on the current roster have a 30-day window to enter the transfer portal or either stay on the roster. So those guys, and I believe that also includes all incoming freshmen and the signees, which is also awkward because some of those kids are just getting up there on the campus right now to start their summer workouts. So this is a whole situation. There's going to be many domino effects to it. I think the one good thing with the UConn team is they're, say all you want about Hurley, very reliant on Luke Murray and Kiana Young, the 2 assistants. But does Hurley just uproot his entire staff and take them all to the Lakers? I think that would be something to watch. The NBA benches are bigger. There are more assistant coaching spots allowed. So that's something to take into consideration. But if UConn wanted to try and just keep as much retention as they could, I think Kamani Young or Luke Murray probably have passed up numerous head coaching jobs by now. Maybe waiting for this one day. I think promoting within, whether it's Murray or Young, would give them the best chance of help keeping that roster intact, because that's the way it works in college basketball a lot of times. These assistants are the lead recruiters on these guys. Hurley probably did most of the work for the portal guys, but the freshmen, they've got the connections with. So you see that a lot where if an assistant gets another head coaching job, sometimes that recruit will flip his commitment to go with the assistant instead. So there's many domino effects. I think if you want to keep everything intact as much as possible, you hire one of those assistants and hope he can keep some of the roster. But it is really late in the game. Like some of these top portal recruits are already committed elsewhere, already signed elsewhere. So Hurley leaving and with the transfer portal, you could lose, 90 to 100% of your roster within the next week. I think the biggest player I feel the worst for is Alex Caravan, because he came back to UConn solely to go for the 3P and hope to make himself into his first round pick. He was probably going to be a late first to an early mid second round pick. He goes back a week later. The deadline has already passed now to stay in the draft, and Hurley now might be heading to LA. So many dominoes to fall with this over these next couple of weeks, probably.
Yeah, see, I don't even know what the Lakers selection is, but wouldn't it be funny for the Lakers, or, Danny Hurley goes out there and then next thing you know, he's going to go ahead and start drafting his guys. And exactly where I'm going when he pulls the trigger on Donovan Clingan and brings him in but again, he's a top 10 pick. I don't know where the Lakers are actually picking in this upcoming draft.
Yeah, off the top of my head, I don't know the first round one, but the second round one, just because I've seen Bronny.
That's right.
So much as 55.
Yep.
But I mean,
I got you right here. 17, round 1, pick 17, Lakers.
Yeah, so I mean, Castle and Clingan will both definitely be gone by then. The next draft pick probably would probably be Newton and then Cam Spencer. Tristan Newton's a second round pick on most boards, and Cam Spencer's either second round or undrafted. But I could definitely see him taking him at 55. But also, if he does go to LA, is there the handshake agreement that you're taking Bronny as well?
Yeah. Wild, man. Absolutely wild. I did not see this coming. It's exciting. Do you want to see him go to the Lakers? Because I do. I do from the standpoint of it's already been done 2 times at UConn. And I don't care about the competition and people knocking him off. That's going to happen. He's not going to win championship after championship after championship. And if he does, cool. But if he doesn't, it really doesn't move the needle for me too much into college level. Him going to the Lakers, I don't know. I love it. Where are you at on that? Do you want to see him leave?
I would, because I think as much as I've kind of talked down on him just because of his antics and kind of the tool that he can be at times, to use a lack of a better word.
Good word.
I would like he's an interesting character, and I think he would definitely add some flavor and excitement to the NBA. Like the Lakers next year, I think would be much watched television. How does he translate to the NBA in terms of his coaching style, whether or not he's coaching LeBron or not. And then obviously he's in LA. I think it would be a cool thing. And with him too, it was talked about all throughout this past run where whether he can make the run to back-to-back. He's lived in the shadows of his father and his brother his entire life. If he somehow finds a way to win back-to-back national championships at UConn and then go parlay that into a successful NBA head coaching career, win an NBA title, he's going to make an argument as the best Hurley. And for a guy that's probably been looked upon as the third Hurley in terms of the limelight and the spotlight his entire life, I think that's something. And especially with what we've seen from him and the way he's wired, I think he's up for it and ready for the next challenge, because everyone's going to say the same thing that I said, where his coaching style and the way that he kind of talks and acts with these players, that's meant for college, not the NBA. If he's able to go around and do that and prove everyone wrong yet again and say kind of screw you, look at me, I'm the best at what I do, that's just another feather in his cap. So he could really make a case for one of if not the best basketball coach of all time if he finds a way to go and have a few successful runs and win some titles with the Lakers, and then with all his college success at UConn as well.
Not too sure if we've had any movement just yet, but it's 10-1 right now on DraftKings Sportsbook for Kansas, UConn, and Alabama to cut the nets down next year in college basketball. 10-1 for all three.
I saw UConn this morning at 9-1, so it already kind of moved a little.
Already dropping. Yeah, money coming in. Hey, Beef, always a pleasure. Can't thank you enough for squeezing in 10 minutes today. Ryan Coyle, 35. Oh, by the way, tomorrow you will hear our summer ball edition, all things college basketball or college football at 3 p.m. Myself, Beef, Mark Henry Jr., and Joe Tanzi recorded on Tuesday night. And it's a catch-up installment on all things college football with realignment, transfers, all that and more. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. That's at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Beef, can't thank you enough. Enjoy the rest of your day. Quickly, 20 seconds. Game 1, 6.5-point spread. Boston favored. Who you got?
With that number, I'm going to go with the Mavericks, and I think it's a game where this entire series, and fingers crossed that it does, but I'm hoping It comes down to the fourth quarter, and if you're giving me the chance to have Luka and Kyrie close it out, I'm going to take that over Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. So 6.5, I'm going to take that. And I think if you think it's going to be within that 6.5, I think you should just take the money line as well, because if it's a close game, I'm definitely leaning towards the Mavericks.
Let's go. Enjoy the game, sir. Catch up over the weekend. Always a pleasure, Beef.
All right, talk to you.
My man, there he is, Ryan Beef Coyle on the Gambler stream or Gambler hotline. Nice work by Beef there. And it's a huge deal. It's a huge story. We're talking about national championship, back-to-back seasons. And he is the guy. He is the coach, the premier name. And he's built a hell of a program. We know, the lineage that he has as far as his family is concerned. I want to see it. I do. And I hate the Lakers to a point, whatever. I don't really like any other team in the NBA besides the Sixers, but I hate them all the same. But him going out to the Lakers, on the inside, I am a Hurley guy, and I was not to start. But he's shut me up and proved his worth and then some. So I definitely respect him, and he's got a great system as far as offense is concerned. Now, it's real easy when you get the players, right, at the college level. Will he be able to do that at the NBA? As we know more than most here in Philadelphia about the roster construction, how important it is. You could have the best player in the game or one of the best player in the game in Anthony Davis. And, of course, LeBron James playing at an MVP level. Forget the fact that he's 40 years old or will be 40. Doesn't matter. Who else? Who are the role players? Who's coming off the bench? Who can help you get through an 82-game season plus? So it's extremely difficult to win an NBA championship. And I don't think that the bar would be set immediately, but the Lakers aren't bringing in Danny Hurley to lose to the Denver Nuggets in the first round. The Lakers aren't bringing Danny Hurley in to win the in-season tournament. No, what they're doing is bringing in Danny Hurley to reset everything, create a brand new culture, be the talk of the NBA, continue to be to have the most eyeballs on their franchise, and oh, by the way, win another championship in that long history of winning NBA championships. All right, great stuff from Beef. We'll continue talking about all the big topics, including NBA Finals, a game number 1 in the 4 o'clock hour, with Sean Bernard, who's going to join me. Now, here's what I got for people. For me, this one is tough, and it should be tough. It's the NBA Finals. There's 2 teams left, and both are playing at an incredible high rate right now, right? We know what Luka is capable of. We know what Tatum is capable of. For the people that maybe might not think that Tatum is on that level, and I understand when you talk about top 5 players, people get all trapped. I love SGA. I think Tatum is right there with SGA. And Tatum has proved his worth. SGA, he's young. He hasn't had an opportunity to do what Tatum has done. Look at what Tatum has done since he's been in this league. Oh, by the way, Tatum's 26 years old. He's young. But 2 series, if not, I believe this year is 3. He's averaging playoff runs, 3 playoff runs so far early in his career at the age of 26. He's averaging 25, 10, and 5. It's insane. Game 7, step up and show me what you got. He did that to us last year, remember? He scored 51 in that Game 7. I know you shut it off in the third quarter like a lot of Sixers fans did. Tatum didn't. That game rolled on. Remember the Game 6 in Milwaukee that kept that season alive, or that playoff run alive? They ended up in the NBA Finals to take on the Golden State Warriors. Sure, they lost to the Warriors. I get it. Look at that number. That was his game. Tatum is a phenomenal basketball player. Right now, him and Luka are the 5th and 6th players in shot clock history since 1955 to lead their teams in total points, rebounds, and assists in the playoffs heading into the NBA Finals. The other players that have done it, Tim Duncan, Jason Kidd, Joker, LeBron James did it 4 times. It's unbelievable. Jason Tatum's a badass, man. And if you want to sleep on him, go right ahead. But I'm not. And I think that they can run away with this series. I think that they can win by, 2 games, whatever it is. And then I think Dallas can you know what? Depending on what type of mental Kyrie's bringing to the table, I think Dallas can go in there and win a game on the road, as they have done throughout the course of this NBA playoff run. I'm torn. I know that's not what you want to hear. You want slam dunk. You want advice. You want a play. I'm taking Peyton Pritchard over 5.5. There you go. That tells you where I'm at. I kid. It's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to game one. Of course, getting a better feel, seeing how it's played out. I love the Celtics all the week leading up, 6.5 as far as in game one. For the series, I'm going to roll with the Dallas Mavericks. I'm going to pick the Dallas Mavericks, simply put, because I can't go with Boston. Give me Dallas, but it's going to be tough. Boston has home court advantage. They normally play well in game one, but give me Luka not missing as he hasn't all playoff run long, and watch out. Plus, they got some really good production from the other pieces on that squad. I like the Dallas Mavericks to go into Boston, keep it close, probably come up just short as far as winning this game. I think they'll lose, but I do think they cover that number tonight. I think we see a lot of three-pointers. I think Boston shoots it better than Dallas. Defensively, Dallas has improved so much over the last 3 series compared to what they did in the NBA. You're going to hear, or throughout the course of the regular season, you're going to hear more on that coming up from Sean Bernard. It's a great series, and I think it's going to be one of the more entertaining NBA finals we've had in quite some time. So give me a lot of points. Give me some back and forth, some trash talk, the passion of the Celtics fans. Of course, Dallas getting loud down there in games 3 and 4, and give me a best of 3 starting at game 5. How about that? I know that's not what you want to hear. You want to hear a slam dunk lock play. Well, I don't have it for you here as far as the NBA finals is concerned. I like Peyton Pritchard over 5.5 points tonight. I do think Luka's going to cover his number. I think it's 31.5 on DraftKings Sportsbook. I would look at Kyrie Irving. I think the markets are there for Kyrie, whether it's MVP at 22-1. Kyrie is the wild card, right? He can go out there and give you 25 in the first half, and that's going to go over his total. Also, Porzingis, I need to see what he's able to do tonight. Defensive matchups from Dallas going against Jaylen Brown, because Jaylen Brown proved his worth, and that's why he was the ECF MVP. This series is going to be awesome. Just pull up a seat at 8:30 tonight and enjoy the games. And, oh, by the way, on Wednesday, make sure you check us out here at the Duncan Lounge for our live NBA Finals Game 3 watch party. All right, coming up on the other side, Sean Bernard joins me. Don't go anywhere. More after this.
Rita's new Kool-Aid Tropical Punch Ice is here.
Oh, yeah!